Alright guys, this video is for all three of my Ions Algebra 2 trig classes, so if you did this problem in class, keep watching or fast forward through this one to get to the next problem. So I've done different ones in different classes, so just pay attention and fast forward through what you don't need. Alright, to solve a quadratic by factoring, we need to make sure that we get everything on one side and set it equal to 0. Then we need to factor. Looking at this problem, my last term's positive and my middle sign's negative. Last term's positive, we're going to use the sign in the middle, so I'm going to pick two negative signs. All right, the next thing I can do, because I have a leading coefficient, I need to multiply 2 times 15. And the two numbers I need to work with need to multiply to give me 30. When you have that leading coefficient, it's 2 times 15, which is 30. The two numbers I need to find are going to add to give me 11 because my signs are the same. So the only difference we did so far is instead of just looking at the back number, I had to multiply these two together, and I'm going to work with this. Two numbers that multiply to give me 30, add to give me 11. I'm going to pick 6 and 5. We said from the top that they're both negative. All right, how this is going to help us. I'm going to rewrite the first term. And I'm going to take apart the middle term. Instead of a negative 11x, I'm going to use these two. I'm going to go minus 6x minus 5x. All right, because negative 6x minus 5x is a negative 11x. All I'm doing is rewriting that first term, or the middle term, into two terms. And the two terms we chose were negative 6 and 5. Now to finish this, I'm going to group by 2s. And hopefully we watched the video on this and know how to do it. 2x, x minus 3. I need an x minus 3 left over out of the back 2 also. So I'm going to take out a negative 5. The 4 terms is what I taught in class. Setting up and getting 4 terms is what we had in the video. Now, I'm going to write my two parentheses, x minus 3, because those two have to be the same, and 2x minus 5 equals 0. To finish solving, because all I've done is factor, I'm going to set each of these equal to 0 and get my two answers, a positive 3 and a positive 5/2 by solving this. So the only new part, because everything else was taught in the video or in class, is once you get your factors, set both factors equal to 0 and solve. And we're trying to find 2. Most of the time we'll get 2 answers. All right, this next one. All right, so 6 times 5 is going to be 30 again. But this time, since my last term is negative, I'm going to have a plus and a minus. The two numbers I want to pick are going to subtract to give me 7. Going through my factors, what two numbers multiply to give me 30, subtract to give me 7? I'm going to go with 10 and 3. 10 times 3 is 30, 10 minus 3 is 7. All right, but I need to go back and think. I need a positive 7. 10 minus 3 or 3 minus 10. I'm going to use 10 minus 3. So I'm going to leave the first and the last term the same. I'm going to take apart 7x into these two terms. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the order. Because when I do my grouping, 3 and 6 go well together, 10 and 5 go well together. Take out a 3x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. An x squared, take out an x is just an x. Negative 3x divided by 3x is a negative 1. When you take out the whole expression, you have to put a 1 in that spot. All right, for this to work, I have to have a 2x minus 1 left over in the back. So that means I'm going to take out a positive 5. Giving me my two factors. 2x minus 1, 3x plus 5. Set them both equal to 0. And once we get better at this, we're just going to know how to get these answers without having to do this step. I get 1/2 and -5/3. So the only new step today is going from our factors to our solutions. All of this up here was in our lesson that's due already. All right, one more. X squared minus 81 equals 0. This one's not going to be that bad because in the last part of the lesson, remember, x squared is a perfect squared, 81 is a perfect squared separated by a minus sign. So we're calling this a difference of squares. So I can go straight to my parentheses. Last term's negative is a plus minus. I'll break down x squared into x times x. The square root of 81 is 9 times 9. So that's my difference of squares. They're both perfect, separated by a minus sign. So x is in the front, 9's in the back with a plus minus. And I get plus and minus 9. All right, again, if we know how to factor and get to here, the only new idea today is finding our solution. So we need to practice our factoring and make sure we understand it. All right, that's the end of this lesson. There's a homework assignment in the classroom.